So, dear learners, today we have with us Dr. Ranjeet Kaur. She did her MSc in botany from ICMB Garhwal University, and she has vast experience, especially in the field of ecology. Extensively travel across this Himalayan tract to study socio-ecological issues, uh, especially in the area of that Johnsar Babar area. And our team together, including me, we traveled very highly remote areas also, and even to the alpine area to study that socio-ecological nexus on how to maintain the sustainability in the higher catchment area, which is the catchment of the river, the great river Ganges and Yamuna. So after that, she joined this Directorate on Environment and Climate Change, Haryana, as a technical expert. I welcome you again, Dr. Ranjeet. Today, she is continuously sharing her experience, her views on different issues as a part of this course, and also actively involved in developing this course, carrying forward in this course. Over to you, Dr. Ranjeet.
Thank you so much, sir, for this warm welcome. I thank you again, IGNOU and the Regional Center Delhi, for inviting me for this interactive web interaction. So today's topic, we have chosen the eco-friendly lifestyle for the sustainable development. I hope everybody can see the my PPT. Let us start.
Yes.
So let us start with the definition. What exactly the sustainable lifestyle is, and why we need to go for an eco-friendly lifestyle. So what the sustainable lifestyle, it means we need to rethink our ways of living. That means how we organize our day-to-day life and how we alter to socialize, to exchange, to share our ideas, to educate each other, to ultimately transform our societies and to live in harmony with our nature. As a citizen, as at home, at work, we make many choices today in daily life. So we have to be conscious in making the choices which are environment friendly, ecologically friendly, which may contribute towards building sustainable and sustainable environment. Next, we come to the human resource development for sustainability. Human resource, traditionally, it was defined, or it was called as labor. But in the modern analysis, it is defined as creative social being. The human resources are defined as the creative social being that contribute beyond labor. They have many contributions to the society and the civilization and to the development of the nation. For sustainable development, it is mandatory that we should efficiently manage the human resource of our country. We need to create an environment in which all-round development of the people can take place. They can lead a healthy and long life. They have the access to the resources which are required for the decent living. So all these choices, they should have an access to those choices. Then we come to the impact of changing lifestyle. There is a huge impact of changing lifestyle on human development. The people choice, they do impact the environment. Everybody knows this, but when we feel, or we consciously think about this, we realize how much trash we are contributing to the society, or our little things can even conserve the environment better in a sustainable way. So what we require is, we require a shift in human resource management and lifestyle changes to achieve the sustainability in the natural resource use and its exploitation. There are many issues which are related to human resource development that may be defined under the following heads. That is the social progress. There is need to have, the people need to have, or the human resource need to have the greater access to the knowledge, better nutrition and health. Economic growth is required to reduce the inequality. Then efficiency in terms of resource use and also in terms of the availability. Then equity in terms of economic growth and other human development. Then participation for empowerment and democratic governance. Sustainability in terms of ecological, economical, and social terms. Then human security, which is against the chronic threats, hunger, abrupt disruptions. However, the Indian government or the international organizations, they are taking care of this human resource development. India also in 1990s, the Right to Information or RTI Act came into the existence. Then there is NREGA, which is National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which promote transparency. Then there are other organizations like UNDP, which is continuously working to strengthen the capacity of government, local government, and the communities to better plan, implement, and decentralize the development programs. So all the government, mostly the state governments, are in collaboration with UNDP for various for implementing various programs related to human resource development. It also, the UNDP is also paying special attention to the disadvantages and they encourage them to participate in the public decision making. And also the women belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, they are also supported to access the justice. So overall, these NGOs are strengthening, international NGOs are strengthening the national efforts towards a planning that is a gender responsive. Now next we come to the Human Development Index. So there is an index which is there to measure the human well-being. So what exactly it is? Human Development Index, it is a composite index published annually by UN Human Development Report Office. It measures the human well-being, and it has the 3 dimensions basically. That is a long life and healthy life. It is measured by life expectancy at birth. Secondly, it is having the second dimension, that is knowledge. It is measured by the adult literacy rate. And third part is a decent standard of living, which is measured by the GDP per capita. Now, next we come to the Gross National Happiness Index. It was coined by the 4th king of Bhutan in 1970s. And there are 33 indicators which are covered in the 9 domains. And this index also, it measures the national well-being. And the 9 domains are as follows, like psychological well-being, health, education, time use, cultural diversity, resilience, good governance, community vitality, ecological diversity, and resilience and living standards. So if we come to each section, the first one which we take is the psychologically well-being. So the psychological well-being, it includes the satisfaction with all elements of life. and it is subdivided into 3 more factors, that is general psychology, emotional balance, and spiritual indicators. Second is the time use. It takes into account the time spent within a 24 period, how we spend the time. It is the working time also, and time available for non-work activities also, that is sleeping, personal care, religious activities, cultural activities, sports, travel. So that is also very important when we take in account happiness index. Then is third is the community vitality. It takes into account the social indicators, safety indicators, family vitality indicators. Then is culture. It takes into account the cultural diversity and resilience, dialect use, traditional sport indicators. Then comes the health index, which consists of health knowledge indicators and barriers to health indicators. Then comes the education, which takes into account the knowledge, which takes into account the afforestation indicators, degradation indicators. Then comes the living standard, which takes into account the housing indicators, food security indicator, and hardship indicators. Then comes the governance, which is the last factor, which takes into account the freedom indicator, government performance indicator, and trust indicator. So that was how the happiness index is calculated. And according to the UNDP report, that is 2010 UNDP report, India has gained a poor, that is 119th rank in UN HDI due to poor social infrastructure, mainly in areas of education and healthcare. So this report, it covers 169 countries. Other factors which include which I included in this HDI ranking, that is the inequality, education, demographic trends, and community well-being. These factors are also considered when we calculate this HDI index. Next is this Green Dex index. This is usually calculated by this National Geographical Consumer Green Dex Index. It is also known as. It is scientifically derived sustainable consumption index of actual consumer behavior and material lifestyle across 18 countries. In 2014, the Indians were the top scoring in this index among the 18 countries. The reason for top score, it was guessed because India's is showing the greener pattern. It is the outcome of its culture, ethics, and tradition, because India is following the ethics and the traditional knowledge. That is why it is coming in. It came into the topmost position. Second was China, then South Korean, and the last were Americans in this index. So the consumer choice for food and goods for everyday consumption, as well as big ticket items, are accessed for this index. These are the criteria which are taken into account. So somewhere it is in the topmost part, India. So next we come to the concept of eco-friendly lifestyle and sustainability. Eco-friendly lifestyle, before we get into this, we need to know what exactly the eco-friendly is. Eco-friendly means being considerate about biotic environment around you. What kind of environment we are staying in. Biotic means the plants, and abiotic means the other environment, atmospheric. So both we need to know about that environment. It is the mode of living by consuming natural resources effectively. We need to take the resources, not waste it, effectively take the resources. We need to leave the less carbon footprint, producing less waste by causing less environmental degradation. So in the nutshell, sustainable living means understanding how our lifestyle choices impact the world around us and finding the better ways for everyone so that they can live a better life in this planet. When we come to our commitments at the national levels, that is the SDGs and the NDCs, that is the nationally determined contribution. So they have also emphasized that sustainable living and lifestyles are very important for overall sustainable development of the country. So in SDG goals also, goal number 4, goal number 12, that is education and responsive consumption, that is emphasized. Then NDC, that is nationally determined contribution, goal number 1. In that also it is clearly mentioned that sustainable lifestyle has to be emphasized. That means we need to put forward and propagate a healthy and sustainable way of living based on our tradition and values of conservation and moderation. The reason for our current lifestyle is we are over-consumptive. We are living the over-consumptive lifestyle. Consumption is the driving force in this lifestyle. All economic activities are geared to fulfill the demand of consumption. More traffic increases emissions of carbon dioxide. More waste in landfills causes the release of nitrous oxides. Wastage of electricity, and more factories are being set up to meet our growing demands that ultimately increase the carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere. To stop this kind of lifestyle we are living, we need to have a mindful and deliberate utilization of the resources. Whatever resources are available, we need to have mindful and deliberate utilization. So we need to focus on enhancing the positive impact of one's actions while working towards reducing the negative impacts. We need to emphasize the shift in consumption, lifestyle, and behavior. Need to shift the focus for consuming responsibly, reducing, reusing, recycling products, and also refusing. That was the first part. Then living in harmony with nature and managing resources in the sustainable manner. So these are some of the mindful things we should need to consider. Moreover, in today's trend, there is a zero waste concept, which is also principally focusing on waste prevention that encourages the redesign of resource life cycles so that all products are reused. So at the production level, they have to redesign the things or the products in that way so that it can be reused in some other ways, and it should not be thrown in the trash. So it will guide the people in changing their lifestyle and practices, and the people will not discard the materials, and they will use the discarded materials and design it to use it so that it become the resources for other use. Many startups are being set up, many fundings are given for these kind of startups. One or many societies, one of which is situated in the Mumbai, has also adopted the zero waste concept practically. So they are segregating waste. They are segregating waste in the source level only. So here are some of the basic lifestyle changes that make a big difference. When we segregate waste, we segregate the wet waste, dry waste. However, these are very simple exercise. In even no much training is required. Every individual can do this at their home or at their individual level. So that is some of the simple steps we are talking about. Waste segregation. Simply, we need to segregate the wet waste, dry waste, waste management, kitchen waste, compositing. That means we need to composite the kitchen waste. Many methods are available on net. You can see the how you can do that. Then we need to save water, rainwater harvesting, save energy, unplug when when you are not using that plug. Stop using plastic bags, the single-use plastic that has already been prohibited, banned from 1st July onwards, 1st July 2022. So use recycled cloth bags, use other alternatives than using the plastics. Some other options could be generate electricity when the sun shines. In particularly switching to renewable energy for a part of your electricity and hot water needs is one of the greenest measure. Then khadi, the green cloth. Khadi is the most sustainable Indian materials and can refer to any natural fabric which is handspun like cotton, silk, jute or wool. Use kind of the eco-friendly cloth. Ministry is also promoting these kind of industries, enterprises to increase the employment also, and also the rural sector, in the rural sectors. Second comes the waste management. Waste management in whom we can do by segregating and compositing. Similarly in schools also, in canteens also, the waste has to be managed efficiently. We need to reduce, reuse, recycling, and add on to the government's initiatives, that is Swachh Bharat mission, to tackle the problem of waste. We should know that rotting organic waste generates methane, which is 21 times more potent than the carbon dioxide as a greenhouse gas. Burning solid waste generates carbon dioxide emissions and pollutes the air with aerosols and toxic chemicals. So the key to better waste management is segregation the wastes at the source level. Compositing systems are available in the market. You may explore them and also try these options. Refuse additional packing. There are many additional packing when we buy a product, so we should try to reduce this kind of packing and use a bag when you go for shopping made up of cloth. Then comes the transportation sectors. Transportation also contribute to 14% of greenhouse gases, and the road transportation contributes to 72% of these. Simple lifestyle changes will ensure lesser greenhouse gas emission, lesser traffic on roads. We can choose mode of transportation within city, like walking, local train, carpool. These are the better options. We might switch off the ignition at the traffic red lights, avoid long haul flights for work. Video conferencing is preferred instead of the physical meeting. In the construction sector also, when we talk about the Indian traditional house construction, they utilize the local materials like bamboo, stones and clay. The use of traditional materials, not only it is suitable for climate, but it also contributes to greenhouse gas mitigation by reducing cement consumption and material transport. We need to have the water-wise homes. The climate change, it is impacting the fresh water supply. So we need to fix the leaks in taps, showers. We should not let the tap running. We should use bucket, small mugs to water plants instead of hose pipe. We should use bucket and cloth to wash your vehicle instead of hose pipe. Water plants with water that has been used to wash vegetables, and wash in the full loads in the washing machine. These are the simple steps in the daily routines. We can follow these for a sustainable living or the eco-friendly lifestyles. We should have a fuel efficient kitchens. There are many programs which are underway for promoting the fuel efficient biomass cook stoves that reduce usage of wood and time. We need to emphasize that we do not waste food. We use a pressure cooker daily in the kitchen. We use fuel efficient cooking methods. We use fuel efficient biomass cook stoves. Forests, as we all know, they provide the multiple benefits, including timber and non-timber products. For example, fiber, fuel, wood, fruits, medicine, honey, essential oils. They have their own intrinsic value. It supports many human beings, organisms. They are the natural regulators. They are the carbon sinks. On an average, a tree can sequester about this much of kg of carbon dioxide each year. 10 kg. But due to the climate change, there is a degradation and fragmentation, and there are increased number of forest fires which are changing the weather patterns. Invasive species have come up. So therefore, to adapt to and mitigate the climate change effects, we need to conserve the forest in all regions of the world, and it should be given the utmost importance. We need to save paper. We should not waste the paper. We should organize forestry programs on large scale. We should buy local forest products. We should send paper for recycling instead of disposing it in the garbage. And we should also conduct a department-wise paper reduction campaign if possible. In the agriculture sector also, we should emphasize on climate smart agriculture practice. That means we should promote the organic farming. We should judiciously use the nitrogenous fertilizers as they release the nitrous oxide, which is a greenhouse gas. We should avoid flooding on agricultural lands and overwatering, which deplete the water resources. We should not burn agriculture residue that can be used for mulching and composting. That is very important. Stubble burning, which is a hot topic usually in the Punjab and Haryana. So we should use these residues for mulching and composting. We should use the animal waste to produce biogas for cooking purposes, and the leftovers also should be seasonal vegetables. In the electricity part, use the 5-star rated ACs, 5-star rated refrigerators, switch to solar inverters, install a solar water heater, go out and play instead of watching TV or playing on a device or mobile laptop. Use a table lamp for studying. It provides better task-based lighting. Turn off lights and fans when not in use. Do an hour of yoga instead of running on a treadmill. Replace all desktop with laptops. Use stairs instead of lifts. Dry your clothes in sun instead of dryer. Switch off all appliances at plug point and not with a remote. Turn off light and fans when you go out. Rainwater harvesting is mandatory at home, school, and offices. It prevents erosion, flooding, poor water quality in our lakes and streams. Then we come to the yoga and sustainable living. yoga is very important uh, uh, for the point of view of the health issues also. Otherwise, sustainable living. It has great contribution in sustainable living also. So when we practice the yoga, it allows us to realize our existence, our relationship with the environment, who we are, and it allows individuals to practice interconnection of thoughts, energy, and our ultimate actions. It high it heightens the awareness of oneself and relationship with others and natural world. So there are 8 lanes of yoga. We are going into the each detail of this lanes, but it, I like harmony and respect for others and also the likes a person. We have to just be here for some years, and we can't even take a single needle from this earth. So we need to understand that what our existence is and what we are doing ultimately to this environment, what environment is giving us and what we are in return giving to this environment. So we need to be more conscious about our actions, and that consciousness is increased, the focus is increased when we practice yoga in our daily lives. Then there are some of the initiatives. If we look upon the Bal Urja Rakshak mission that was initiated in Haryana in 2008, it target the high school level, in which the school it mobilizes the team of 20 Urja Rakshaks, 4 energy leaders and 2 energy teachers, and they organize the different events, competition to generate awareness, understanding about energy conservation, initiate the objective of bringing attitudinal and behavior changes in children regarding energy conservation. So this program is very successful, and it also uses the children's potential, who can change and reach out their family, fellow students, teachers, and their immediate community, uh, to propagate the message. The public health and engineering department is also doing many disciplinary programs for storm water disposal, which is also very important in towns, and it also encourages the farmers to adopt the energy efficient pump sets for their tubers, to provide the flooding or untreated sewer overflows. Then there are eco clubs in the school. The state government in Haryana, particularly, the eco clubs are there in all states, but in Haryana, earlier initially it was 2850 eco clubs under National Green Corps during year 2005 to 2006, and it has been increased or raised up to 5,000. The objective of the eco club concept is to acquaint the children about the environment, to increase their awareness, to build their capacity regarding the environment. So each year, Eco Club is having 20 to 30 children in government school who are interested in the environmental issues. The government releases the funds to these Eco Clubs for organizing seminars, debates, awareness programs, rallies, plantation drives, and field visits. So this is very good and successful programs in the school. So they bring the lifelong attitudes, values, and behavior towards the environment from their early years of life. They also these kind of programs, they bring the children into direct contact with environmental problems and which are prevailing in the society, and make them ponder over their solution. These children's only they will become engineers, scientists afterwards. So they will, when they are coming into contact with the environmental problems, so they will ponder over, think about it, what solution they can come up with, the sustainable solutions. Then there are some of the eco-friendly alternatives for the plastics. Use the bamboos or the wooden sticks for birds, cloth flag with wooden sticks, use reusable water bottles, wooden comb, glass jars, jute bags. These are some of the plastic eco-friendly alternatives. Then in the last, we'll be discussing the way forward. What is the way forward for this? Sustainable living. Sustainable or living in harmony with nature will merely be a paper exercise unless and until we do it practically, or we connect with nature, or we realize, if there is self-realization, what we are doing, we are conscious about our action, only then the sustainable living is possible. So already the earth, there are a lot of changes due to biodiversity loss, pollution, waste. We are preaching all these things, but it is all vague, and otherwise, if we are not following it, the simple practices which are mentioned, which we have mentioned, they might, you will say ki, this is very simple. This is a school level children, they do all these things. But no, we have to do this. Everybody has to do this. At individual level, we have to do this. Then only we can bring about the change. We can have the sustainable living or sustainable development. So for all round sustainable development, individual action, conscious actions, conscious living is the mandatory part we need to do. Though government, it is making many initiatives, but personal decisions, personal lifestyle decisions, they are very effective to change the environment or availability of resources for the next generations. So thank you. This was all for today's interaction. Over to you, Sharad sir.